Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Dream Setlist. Today we're going to take a look at a band that I actually have never had the opportunity to see live. So they are actually a perfect fit for this program. And actually, when I was thinking about a lot of the bands I was going to cover in this series this month in March, this is not one that came to mind. But then yesterday I was kind of like, you know what? It'd be pretty cool to create a Dream Setlist for Gillen. The Gillen Band, not the Ian Gillan Band, the Gillen Band. So this is that great heavy rock act that Ian put together in the late 70s. They weren't around for a long period of time. By like 1982, they were basically done. But they released a handful of really, really great albums. Didn't really tour much at all here in the States. So even by the time that I was going to concerts, they weren't playing here. So I've never had the opportunity to see them. So what I've done is I've created a dream set list for this band. And what I've done, so again, I've hopped in my time machine. I have gone back in time. This concert is actually going to be, if you can kind of stick with me here in this scenario, so the Gillen Band was actually not doing a lot after they released the Magic album, which was their final studio album. They were kind of in limbo a little bit. Ian was having some vocal problems and stuff, which he was getting taken care of. But then, all of a sudden, before the band actually goes back to do anything, or before Ian actually announces that the band is going to be no more, he has up and joined Black Sabbath, right? That fateful night in that pub where him and Tony and Geezer all get soused, and they realize, and they somehow during the night they agree that they're going to do a Black Sabbath album together, right? So, and before you know it, Ian's in Sabbath, and the rest of the guys in Gillen are kind of like, well, what about us, right? So I'm going to change that whole little bit of history here. And actually, the whole thing with the Sabbath guys actually does happen. However, Ian does the right thing here and says, all right, but I'm going to do that, but we need to kind of put like a little bit of finality, right? Final stamp on Gillen and go out in style. So what they're going to do is they're going to plan one final show at the Hammersmith Odeon in London. I'm actually going to go and get a ticket for this, and I'm going to hop across the pond to go to see this show. This show will be in mid-1982 at the Hammersmith. It's going to be the lineup of Ian Gillan on vocals, Yannick Gers on guitar, John McCoy on bass, Colin Towns on keyboards, Mick Underwood on drums. Special guest, he's going to come back and play a good chunk of this particular show. None other than the Mr. Bernie Torme on guitar. So we're going to have two guitar players tonight, Yannick and Bernie. Okay, and we're going to play a whole host of Ian Gillan Band favorites. Or, sorry, not Ian Gillan Band. Gillen Band favorites, not the Ian Gillan Band. So we're going to kick off this heavy show with Unchain Your Brain, that absolute barn burner from the Glory Road album, one of the best albums from this band, definitely a top 2 album from Gillen. Unchain Your Brain is absolutely amazing. You're going to have all sorts of heavy riffs and rumbling rhythms and Bernie Torme going nuts on lead guitar. Then you're going to go into a song from the Double Trouble album, which was half studio, half live, I'll Rip Your Spine Out. From there, we're going to go to 2 songs from the then kind of new album Magic, What's the Matter? And Bluesy Bluesy. Bluesy Bluesy, Bluesy Bluesy. And here you're going to have all sorts of really good riffing and solos from Yannick Gers. From there, we're going to go all the way back to the Mr. Universe album for a little roller from Mr. Universe, keeping the heaviness going on this show. From there, we're going to go to the title track of the very underrated Future Shock album. From there, back to Mr. Universe for a little Dead of Night. Man, some of this stuff is so heavy. If you haven't listened to Gillen, you're really missing out. From there, back to Glory Road for Running, White-Faced, City Boy. Another heavy song. From there, back to Double Trouble for a little Men of War. Hopefully Ian doesn't lose his voice here, because a lot of screaming going on in Men of War. From there, we're going to go to Night Ride Out of Phoenix from the Future Shock album. Back to Magic for another double shot. Caught in a Trap, another big rumbling heavy rocker, and the kind of cagey, quirky but heavy Demon Driver. Okay. From there, back to Glory Road for a little Sleeping on the Job. Really cool song. Get the fans into it. It's got a good anthemic chorus. From there, speaking about anthemic choruses, how about No Laughing in Heaven from Future Shock? All right, good bluesy hard rocker there. And then we're going to finish off the set from the Glory Road album, the sledgehammer pile driving riffage of On the Rocks. Okay, band is going to go off stage, grab a quick drink, or in some cases have a little quick smoke, whatever. They're going to come back out for the encore. Everybody at the Hammersmith is going nuts. The final Gillen show, they're going to launch into, you're going to hear Mr. Towns' synthesizer, and they're going to launch into the title track to Mr. Universe. Wild guitar playing from Mr. Torme all over the place on this one. It's heavy. It's kind of proggy. It's a classic from Gillen. From there, we're going to stick on to Mr. Universe for a little vengeance, bringing the house down, right? They're going to go back. But wait, we got one more encore. The fans demand it. So the entire band comes out one last time. The final song they're ever going to play from Glory Road, No Easy Way. Everybody's up and singing, bringing the house down. And that's it. The final performance from Gillen, done the right way. And after that, he's safe to move on to do Born Again with Black Sabbath. And then shortly after that, as history shows, back to Deep Purple for Perfect Strangers. So there you have it. There's my dream set list for Gillen. I would love to see it. I don't know about you guys, but let us know what your dream set list for Gillen would be. And if you don't really know a lot of the Gillen music, well, I'll tell you what. Take all these songs in my set list. Go check them out. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. This is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. Coming up, we've got Stephen Reed tonight coming on the show for some recommendations of cool UK prog albums from the 90s. So these are more recent bands, some classics from the more modern era of UK prog rock. So we'll be here with 20 suggestions for all of you each, 20 each. So that's coming up tonight. Tomorrow we've got part 2 on the Monsters Den of our ranking the Godzilla films. So here we're going to go to the Heisei films and the Millennium films. So all the stuff, post 1980, right? All the newer Godzilla films. Rich Catino, Chris Allo, and myself will be ranking that. So, and then of course Martin Popwell back on the show for Friday morning in the Fun House, and all sorts of stuff happening here. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't. There's a link to the Ko-Fi page below if you want to make a donation to the channel, as well as a link to our merch page so you can get yourself a cool SOT shirt or hoodie. We got all sorts of designs, whether you like the Monsters Den, the various SOT logos and themes. We've got some metal stuff, some prog stuff, Hudson Valley Square shirts, all sorts of stuff. So check it all out, and we'll see you later on. Take care. Bye-bye.